So, Mark, did you see that hack over at Cosmo? I've never considered anything like this. Just go inside, find the high limit room, free mouthwash.
Do you just take it to the sundry shop and get your $22 back at the end of it?
You just go out to the casino floor and sell it for $10. It's still half the price. So the weather has been a little crazy in Vegas, Mark, but we don't need a weather report. How about a sunset report? Here is the sunset from my house. I have too many trees to block it, but did you see Durango? They had this beautiful sunset video with their yoga. I was just thinking about soccer moms and yoga and a casino. 2026 doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm apologizing for people that listen to this, but dude, this is the first thing I've ever seen in Vegas that isn't a sausage fest. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, quite the opposite, literally.
Yeah, what is the term for that? Is it Buns Fest or what do we call it?
I don't know, but this yoga thing, they've been advertising it for a while. And I mean, do you see how many people are there? This is nuts. Yeah. And this is at a casino. And if anybody, from the outside, we're looking at Las Vegas culture, yoga, casino. I mean, the sunset was great. None of this makes sense, but the local casinos, I guess, are becoming centers of culture in 2026.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was thinking there'd be like 40 or 50 people out there, maybe something smaller by the pool for guests. And this was just massive. It was kind of cool to see. Beautiful backdrop. The scenery was amazing. Like the sunset, all of that. Perfect weather for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think these kinds of things are neat and they're unique to Vegas. And I love seeing it. Plus, that sunset yesterday was great. And that's just a reminder as we get into the season, better sunsets. Las Vegas has some incredible ones. But from one station casino to the next, GVR, we talked a couple shows ago about the carpet. I finally got over there to look at it. Now, it's going to take weeks in order to replace all the carpet at GVR. But here's a couple of videos of what it looks like. And just like we talked about from the pictures, Mark, it looks very much like Durango's carpet. And somebody who puts high praise on carpet and criticizes I've never been the biggest fan of Durango's carpet or this new one. I think it's good. I give it like a 7 out of 10, but it doesn't blow me away. But GVR is turning into something else. I can't wait to get around. There's still a few other things they're finishing. Sunset Station 2. I really got to show you guys because they've started to elevate these properties. GVR looking a whole lot like Durango these days.
I really like the carpet. I mean, especially with the machines in there and everything. We saw it a bit before they had stuff on top of it. I think it fits in really well. And then you see that video that you had of the old carpet next to the new carpet. I think it's a big upgrade compared to the old carpet.
It definitely is. And it does fit better within the Italian sort of scheme than maybe some of the other brighter blues and reds that we see with other carpets. But tons going on there. And in the next month or two, hopefully a lot of these projects will be done and I can show you. And like I said, it's starting to look a lot like Durango. So good to see GVR. And there's your carpet update of the show. In a minute, we're going to talk about Lotus of Siam and my adventures there. But before we do that, I would love to invite you to subscribe. Thousands of you are watching this show right now. You're not subscribed. It's free. Just hit it in YouTube. We're so close to 60K. So Mark, in 2015, I remember I had some Midwest friends and they were so excited when White Castle announced their expansion to Las Vegas. And the first location was at Casino Royale. And then eventually they expanded to 5 locations around Southern Nevada with the same franchisee. And this week we learned that the original one, along with another one in Henderson, is going to close. So Casino Royale's White Castle closing. And I guess what's happening is the franchisee is turning over the locations back to corporate and they're only keeping 3 open. But good news, your big one out at the largest Chevron in the world, it's sticking around.
Oh, the worst service ever in a gas station fast food place? Yeah, that was great.
They never took your order?
No, I stood there for like 4 minutes and just left. I was like, all right, I guess I'm not ordering anything. Probably better for my intestinal fortitude when it was all said and done. But yeah, the biggest winners of all of this is the Casino Royale toilets, I think.
Yeah, they need the plumbing upgrade. So this will help out. Casino Royale, I've been in there a couple times and, we were over there on New Year's Eve and then I've been back there one more time since then. And I just still love the vibe of the place. I love the lights, the old school, the mirrors everywhere. Of course, you got the cheap eats in the back, but that bar right there that we sat at, I don't know. I just like the whole thing. Plus you get the Best Western lobby in the middle of a casino, which is all good.
No, I think it's so fun. It's a throwback to kind of older Vegas, what we were used to growing up and everything we saw. It just feels more homey, more comfortable, a little bit seedier. And you miss that on the strip. Everything's big and new and over the top. And this gives you a taste of what it was like 20, 30 years ago, which is always fun to see.
And if you're wondering which other locations are staying, the Fremont location is staying, and then the one over on Paradise across from Virgin Hotels will be staying. And I've never had White Castle here. I've only had it twice when traveling. And what they say is true, Mark. It really is true.
Runs through you.
Oh, it sure does. But Lotus of Siam doesn't, and it's a longtime Vegas institution, and it's now on Inkind, and I've talked about Inkind before. Lots of strategies. You can get 25 off 50 using my referral on your first thing. Tons of Vegas restaurants, but Lotus of Siam is a classic. It started on Sahara at Commercial Center, and we've talked so much about this restaurant over the years. Remember, the daughter has the location at Red Rock, and then there was a lawsuit or something going between the parents and the daughter, and this location on Flamingo, I think, is owned by I don't know. And then in 2024, they announced they were going to reopen the original location. That hasn't happened. All that to say, the one on Flamingo is pretty good. I got some pad see ew. We got some Penang curry, Thai iced tea, about $60, I think, for lunch. The only complaint I have about this entire place is the parking lot. They need to clean up the parking lot. It has trash everywhere, but this is a Vegas classic right east of the Strip, and the food is delicious. It always has been.
Oh, the food looks great, and the place looks nice inside, and I love Thai food, and anytime you can find some good Thai in the area, it's worth going to, so I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, the one thing with Lotus of Siam, the prices may be a little bit higher than other Thai restaurants because of the reputation. A lot of tourists do go there, and it's not far from the tourist corridor. I couldn't give them a pass on the parking lot just because, I don't know, it was really bad. There was a lot of stuff around there, but service was really good. I mean, the food there is top notch. It's not the absolute best Thai food I've ever had in Las Vegas, and the places that I've eaten, those aren't around anymore, but it's right up there. Solid food. Service was good. That Thai iced tea hit right. And they nailed the pad see ew. That's something that a lot of these fake Thai restaurants that are actually Chinese restaurants don't get right. So yeah, the flavor profile is there. A classic. People should go there. And then I'm so glad to see more of these restaurants on Inkind. I think there are, I don't know, maybe approaching 70, 80 restaurants here. Don't quote me on that, but there's a ton of them.
Yeah, we don't have as much coverage around here, so I'm jealous of that. But okay, so in terms of parking lot dirtiness, is it across the street from Resorts World parking lot bad?
No, it's just a few pieces of trash here and there. There is a video. I guess you didn't see the video, so I'll throw it up here. Not too bad at all. But Lotus of Siam, definitely a classic here. Something you guys should do when you're getting off the Strip. Well, let's talk entertainment. 1990s nostalgia, Mark, coming to Fountainbleau, Salt-N-Pepa, TLC, and Vogue October 9th. And I think tickets are on sale March 26th, but the show October 9th. So yeah, I mean, this is a tour that they're doing, one stop over at Fountainbleau, but this got me tingling with nostalgia.
No, it's cool to see them all together, and I'm sure it'll be a popular show. TLC is not the same without Lisa, though, so that'll be kind of sad if you're there. I don't know, maybe they have somebody else filling in for that role, or if they just kind of skip over parts or somebody else grabs it. I don't know how they work around that, but some great songs from our childhood for sure.
Yeah, I feel like those groups really were very prevalent in our childhood, and TLC obviously never been the same since Lisa, was it Left Eye Lopez, right? Since she passed away, but I'm sure they've been, I mean, it's been a long time now, so I'm sure they're doing it, but so many great, I don't know, R&B anthems of the 90s and Fountainbleau. I think this vibe fits perfectly with Fountainbleau.
Yeah, I think it's a good the age group they're looking for in Fountainbleau and kind of the nostalgia they're looking for. Not quite as old as the Sphere has gone, so right in that pocket there, I think.
For sure, but let's talk some changes coming to the casino floor. A couple months ago, we talked about the merger of IGT and Everi, and basically Apollo was gobbling them up and turning them into the new IGT, and the headquarters moved to Vegas, and I believe this is now the biggest gaming company in the world as far as manufacturing. And they manufacture so many of your favorite slots, including Wheel of Fortune, but so many out on the casino floor. And we're starting to see the fallouts of this merger. They announced a 10% reduction in workers. That's about 700 people. The company wouldn't say in Vegas versus elsewhere who's getting laid off and what, but this is more just the synergies of a big merger, but a big sort of story in the gaming space. This is a company you guys see everywhere.
Yeah, it's sad that anybody that's losing their job, but you kind of expect this when there's a merger because there's so much overlap and redundancy that they usually try to trim the fat pretty quickly when you're bringing two companies together. So hopefully whoever is displaced, one gets a good package on the way out the door, and then two can find a job very quickly, but not too surprising overall.
Yeah, the new CEO, Hector Fernandez, said the changes we are announcing today are part of the effort to simplify our structure, reduce duplication, and enable us to move with greater clarity and speed. This is the type of reason when you have a merger, you're scared for your job because you know it's going to happen. I don't think this is a wider implication of the gaming space, of the casino space, of this business itself. It's just more consolidation there. I think everything is going pretty good based on my understanding.
Yeah, it sounds like it's on the up and up, and we'll have to see how it does long term. Whenever somebody buys something, so maybe the financials aren't quite what they saw, but we don't see any of that right now, so nothing to worry about so far.
It's a few months into the year. You better get your Las Vegas Advisor book now. They're only $50, but if you use code MTM or the link down in the description, you can get it for $45. Hundreds of dollars in savings in Fremont alone, not to mention the rest of the city, dining, shows, free play, hotel discounts, all of that. Check it out before it's too late. Time is ticking. The year is passing by. Get your Las Vegas Advisor membership for $45 with code MTM. Link down below. Well, Mark, there's a lot of big stories in 2026, but this is the biggest one, the death of the penny. Pennies are not being manufactured, I don't believe, anymore, and so they're going to start to dry up, and that means that casinos are going to have to figure out what to do with penny situations, and the Nevada Gaming Control Board has told them, given them some guidance on the fact that they have to round down and up. They can't just round down, how to handle transactions if customers like donate an extra few pennies at the machine, these sorts of things. So this is really a world in the next couple of years we're going to where you're not going to have pennies anymore, and you're not going to have 1 cent anything, round down, round up. This is where we're headed.
So we got rid of the 99-cent price thing, and we're just going to call it $1 from now on. That'd be nice. No more $3.99.
Just not do our math right and round down to 90 cents.
I'm surprised that they didn't say they have to round up every time and just kind of make it work in that fashion. I think that's the way it should be instead of being able to round down and up. But we've kind of seen this. They don't really want to mess with change ever since COVID. So we've seen more donation type of things trying to get you. And then I think it was Bill Crackman that just shared another story of a guy getting arrested because he was trying to pick up all those little loose change slips and turn them in for money. So don't do that. They get very upset about it. I don't know why they do, but they do. So don't go around picking up these things.
They're called silver miners, Mark, these good old silver miners. Back in the day when you had coin slots, they would just walk and put their hands through the hoppers. And so just walk machine to machine and find coins that were left behind. Now they go for tickets. The casinos don't really like them because a lot of times they are not the kind of crowd the casino wants. They're not really generating money for the casino. And technically it is illegal to take one of those tickets if it's not yours. And because I think the money goes partially to the casino, but we've talked about this before, it also goes to the state. I don't think you're going to get in trouble for picking up one of them. I never do because I don't want any issue if you mix it with your money and then you win something, or it's not worth it for a few cents.
I leave it if it's just like the last spin or whatever below the min. I just leave it in the machine. So I don't know if that causes problems too.
I don't know. What we do is a lot of the machines have a wager saver where you can get a free roll, sort of, or it's based on the odds of the money you have. So let's say you're making a 50-cent bet, you have 25 cents in the machine, you'll have a 1 out of 2 shot of getting the spin, and then it's just a normal spin. So we usually find one of those machines on the way out. You could put any amount of money in, get a spin. Sometimes you get lucky.
Oh, that's a cool thing. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, all the Dragon Cash machines, a lot of the Aristocrat machines have them, but it's rolling out to more, and that's my suggestion. Give you one last bit of action. You're probably not going to win, but it gives you one little shot of dopamine out the door.
Hey, you never know. Papa Giorgio, right?
Yeah, exactly. Win a car with your last penny. We've done that. And, some of the slot channels have done discounts on spins where they'll do $250 spins, but they'll put 50 in at a time. So you get a 1 in 5 shot at a discount on the spin, stuff like that. Interesting, fun stuff to be had with wager savers. But yeah, those silver miners, they're just as bad as the advantage player gangs that roam around the casinos.
I don't know about that. They don't make you uncomfortable when you're playing.
Yeah, maybe not as bad. But let's talk something good, Mark. The Vanderpump Hotel. I know you probably have a lot of thoughts on this. We know Vanderpump is one of your favorite brands, and I briefly talked about it on Monday's show, but I didn't want to talk about the rooms themselves because I wanted us to have a wider discussion. But before we get into the room design and everything else, reservations are now open for Vanderpump Hotel. May 26th is the night it's reopening. When I just looked today, I think May 30th was the first night I could see rooms available, but maybe that will change. I think opening night was $499. But when you look through the schedule, the cheapest it was over the next couple months, $139 plus resort fee. Most expensive, about $400 plus resort fee. I feel like that's not crazy compared to the rest of their properties, but we'll talk about the rooms in a second. Are you excited? Are you going to book a room at the Vanderpump Hotel?
I mean, if it was open and I could get it for the $139 when I'm coming out there next month, I probably would just to check it out. And I don't think that price is bad midweek. On the weekends, it gets more expensive. But if you have a player's card and you play with Caesars, I'm sure that there's better deals there. And it is a new opening technically. So not surprising that they're kind of pushing it up early on. I think it will drop down into that 200, 250 range on weekends, probably coming into the fall. So it won't be too bad. And then if you can get a comp room or significantly discounted room.
Yeah, and this will be a top to bottom renovation of the rooms and some of the spaces. I talked on the last show about Giada sticking around through this. We learned a little bit more about the pool, but that's still under construction and coming. But the rooms themselves, designed by Lisa Vanderpump and her partner Nick Elaine, and they call it industrial romantic. And here is what it looks like. And it's very feminine, Mark. Well, let's start there. It's not a surprise. Feels very Pinkies at Flamingo, like it's inspired by that design language, I would say. And I think a lot of men aren't going to like this. I like that. I'm trying to put the female aesthetic aside and really judge this hotel room. I think it's very attractive and light years better than what Cromwell's rooms were. I mean, Cromwell's rooms never did it for me. This is really good. I dare say that these rooms look a lot like the Alexandria Tower over at Sahara.
Yeah, I think there's some similarities there, color scheme, design, aesthetic. I think Lisa's done it a bit better, and Alexandria is an older hotel, so that's not too surprising. And I know that we've talked about how they're going to be doing a refresh there, so it'll be interesting to see if they stick with that same type of aesthetic or if they move to something different. But we'll know more of that whenever it happens. Yeah, I will say this is definitely feminine. It leans feminine, probably more than most rooms in Vegas that we see. I think her restaurants were feminine but approachable. I think this goes a little bit more feminine than the restaurants, but it's still not over the top approachable, probably more for like couples and stuff like that. Like, I don't think two dudes are going to be booking this that are, sharing like a double queen room. At least I wouldn't think so. But there's still a lot of people that are going to love it.
Only 188 rooms there, so that does help them with a limited supply, and that's helped, keep rates even at Cromwell higher than they probably should have been for the stuff. Carrie Bilicki had a great picture because she had her own picture with the exact angle, and she put it up a side by side so you could see what the difference is. It's a stark difference between then and now. I think it's really funny to imagine myself laying in the bed in that room and just looking around and saying, yeah, this is me. But I would do it because it looks like a solid room. High-end looking materials, the finishes, a lot of, I don't know, I like this sort of industrial look. I wish that they would, maybe they can create a whole genre, go less feminine with the next room design. But I really like Lisa Vanderpump spaces. I think this is good. And that location, man, is so good. It's so darn good for the size of the property, being small, approachable, right at the corner of Flamingo. This is a winner.
Yeah, that's what's so great about it is the check-in lines aren't long. It's boutique. You can get into and out of your room very quickly. And I think that this is an elevated design. The aesthetic is nice. The color scheme works really well together. But it like we said, it leans feminine for sure. If you can get over that, or if you're going with your spouse, significant other, or if you just don't care, I think it's a nice room.
So what's staying with the transition? Giada's, as we said, the Starbucks is staying. What we're getting something new is a new cocktail lounge, a new Vanderpump's cocktail lounge, the fourth one in the cities. So we'll see how that all works. And of course, all the spaces in the casino are going to be redesigned by Vanderpump and everything she's doing. I don't believe we've seen any concept of what the casino will look like. You'll still have a Caesars Sportsbook. I believe the lobby towards the back is being redesigned as well. But I would expect that a lot of the public spaces will follow this similar design language.
Yeah, I'm guessing that bar that's like across from the little sports book and like the lounge where they used to have live music, that will probably be the Vanderpump cocktail place. And I always really liked that lounge bar area. It wasn't utilized that much. I don't think a lot of people went there, but they always had some type of jazz music going on. It was a cool spot. So I can only imagine she's going to make it really nice.
So is this an empire? March of 2019 is when Vanderpump Cocktail Garden opened at Caesars Palace. Then in 2022, we got the one at Paris. And then she also has properties like in Lake Tahoe, she has one. Then Pinky's in Lake 24. She opened up at Caesars Republic Scottsdale. She has one there. So she has really become the, Ramsey, we say he's everywhere, but is Vanderpump the new like queen of Caesars Entertainment?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of unique that unlike other celebrity chefs where it's kind of rehashed the same thing over and over, each space is unique, each menu is unique. It gives you a different flair to it. And I think that's what makes this kind of fun. Like, even though it's the same person, they don't really overlap like you do with with maybe a Gordon Ramsay or something like that. And I know he has different, but like the pub and the fish and chips place, a lot of overlap there and stuff. And he has some other stuff that's different, but everything that she does is kind of unique.
I mean, I talked on the last show about Giada and how she's been working with Penn Entertainment now outside of Caesars, and maybe she's leaving the brand. Maybe this is why, she has to live within Vanderpump's hotel, her restaurant. She's got to be jealous.
I had a decent dinner at Giada's. It's a great space with great views. I think that they could do more with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lisa gives her the old boot.
There you go. We got a fight in Vegas, but looking forward to this so much. Let us know what you guys think about the Vanderpump Hotel and everything that we've learned about it. The prices. Do you think that this is going to be a win for Caesars Entertainment? Everything else we discussed in this show, the carpet at GVR, yoga out in the sunset at a casino. Leave a comment. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we will be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week, everybody.